Have you ever stopped to think about how many little things in your daily life are actually making you more tired and stressed without you even noticing? Sometimes it's not the big job or the huge responsibilities that weigh you down. It's the small habits, the details we repeat without questioning, and that deep down are stealing our peace and our time. I'm the facilitator, and today I want to tell you about 15 small and a bit unusual things I decided to stop doing or buying to simplify my life. And honestly, it was a game changer. Each of these changes gave me back time, lightness, and clarity. Maybe one of them will make sense for you too. You know that phrase, clutter isn't just physical mess? It's true. Disorder can also be emotional, digital, or even a pile of unnecessary tasks. Anything that stands between you and the life you truly want is a kind of debris. What I did was start removing that debris, little by little, until I realized that simplicity is the most powerful luxury that exists. The first thing I gave up was white towels. I know it sounds silly, but for a long time, I tried to follow the minimalist decor handbook. Everything white, everything clean. The thing is, white towels are a nightmare. They stain easily, fade quickly, and never look new again. I got tired of spending time trying to keep them spotless and decided to switch to darker colored towels in shades of green or dark brown. Besides being beautiful, they hide stains and add a cozy touch to the bathroom. And you know what? I never regretted it. Right after that came the second change. I stopped buying those huge gallons of liquid detergent. I thought I was saving money, but every time I used one, the spout leaked or the measuring cup got sticky. It was chaos. I realized that the cheap option was costing me in patience, in time, and in peace. Now, I buy smaller containers, take advantage of sales, and no longer have to deal with a messy laundry room. Another thing that completely transformed my routine. I stopped leaving dirty dishes in the sink overnight. That used to be a tradition at home. After a long day, I always thought, I'll wash them tomorrow. But waking up to a sink full of dishes was the first blow of discouragement in the morning, until my wife showed me a simple trick. Wash the dishes while you cook. While the sauce simmers or the oven's on, I wash what I've already used. By the time dinner's over, almost everything's clean, and before bed, the kitchen is in order. The feeling of waking up with everything in place is priceless. I also decided to stop cooking lunch just for myself. When I'm home alone, cooking, eating, and cleaning everything up is an enormous use of energy. So now I plan meals with leftovers that last 2 or 3 days, or I use a healthy meal service. The idea is simple: eliminate small decisions that drain energy. After all, cooking more isn't always the same as living better. One of the most powerful changes was letting go of the scarcity mindset. For years, I overbought thinking I was protecting myself. Clothes in 3 colors, duplicate products, a pantry full of unmissable deals. The result? Expired items, packed closets, and a constant feeling of tightness. Today, I buy only what I actually use, not out of fear of running out, but with confidence that enough is enough. Another thing I learned: having a clean house is not the same as having an organized house. I stopped obsessing over keeping everything shining all the time. I discovered that when you have fewer things, everything naturally looks cleaner. A tidy room, a made bed, and minimal decorations already create a sense of order and well-being. Less cleaning, more lightness. And since we're talking about the house, I stopped following social media decor trends. I got tired of the pressure to have Instagram-worthy spaces full of expensive and disposable trends. Now my home is simple, comfortable, and reflects me and my wife. I don't care if there's a missing frame on the wall or if the decor isn't trendy. What matters is that it feels welcoming, not impressive. One of the most curious changes I made, I called the silence shower. Unlike the Japanese forest bath, this one is about disconnecting from the constant noise of modern life. I realized I was always surrounded by sound, music, TV, notifications, noisy toys. When I started spending more time in silence, no background sound, no distractions, even in the shower, I felt my mind slow down. Silence became an antidote to anxiety. And you? Can you spend part of your day in complete quiet? Another thing I gave up was the idea of being responsible for everything at home. I used to fold all the clothes, tidy the living room, and wash the dishes. Now, my wife helps with these chores. It was hard at first, but now she understands the value of care and autonomy. I also stopped asking for permission to do simple things. I noticed that out of habit, I would say things like, "Can I go to the store?" or "Do you mind if I take a quick shower?" It was almost automatic. Now, I've replaced it with, "I'm going to the store. Want me to grab something for you?" Small language shifts that reflect big mindset changes, especially for those raised to always please others. Do you also feel like you sometimes ask for permission just to live your own life? Another important point, I stopped expecting people to read my mind. For a long time, I thought others should understand my needs without me saying anything, and I got frustrated when they didn't. I learned that clarity is a form of love. When we communicate what we need, life and relationships flow much better. About halfway through this journey, I realized I also needed to stop buying fabrics and items that are hard to maintain. Velvet, silk, wool, all beautiful, but they demand time, products, and special care. I got tired of that. Today, I prioritize simple materials, easy to clean, that stay beautiful with little effort. This change applies to clothes, furniture, and even bedding. The aesthetic of simplicity is much more sustainable than it seems. Another thing I abandoned was the addiction to endless planning. I love lists, spreadsheets, and goals, but I discovered that over-planning is just an elegant form of procrastination. Waiting for the perfect moment is the surest way to never start. So I stopped planning so much and started acting, even imperfectly. Planning without action is just anxiety in disguise. I also automated my bill payments. It sounds simple, but eliminating that mental task was freeing. I used to forget deadlines and rack up late fees. Now everything's automatic and I just check in once in a while. One less worry, one less burden. And finally, I stopped browsing stores aimlessly. I used to love window shopping, just to look. I'd try on watches and shoes without really needing them, but I realized that every impulse purchase was unnecessary clutter. Now I only buy when I truly need something. There's a Swedish proverb that says, "He who buys what he doesn't need steals from himself." That phrase stuck with me. Every object you bring home without need steals a bit of your space, your money, and your freedom. These 15 small decisions completely changed my daily life. It wasn't a one-time shift, but a series of small no's that made room for a much greater yes. Yes to peace, yes to free time, yes to a life with less noise and more meaning. So now I ask you, what could you stop doing to simplify your life? Which small habits are holding you back without you realizing it? Maybe the simplicity you're looking for isn't about adding, but about removing. Because in the end, living well is about having space in your home, in your mind, and in your heart for what truly matters. If you like this video, consider subscribing to the channel. A big hug, and see you next time.